Long, long ago, before there were kings with crowns and castles, there lived a man named Abram. Abram loved God very much. He trusted God even when the road was long and the future was unclear. One day, after Abram helped rescue his family from a dangerous battle, he and his men were tired, dusty, and hungry as they walked home. That was when something very strange and very wonderful happened. Out of the quiet hills came a man Abram had never seen before. He wore simple robes. He did not carry a sword. He did not ride a horse. But there was something about him that made the air feel calm, like the moment right before a prayer. His name was Melchizedek. Melchizedek was the king of Salem, which means king of peace. But he was also something even more surprising. He was a priest of God Most High. No one knew where he came from. No one knew who his parents were. No one knew when he was born. It was as if he had stepped straight out of God's plan and into the story. Melchizedek smiled at Abram and held out bread and wine. "Rest," he said gently. "God has given you the victory." Abram felt his tired heart grow light. This was no ordinary king. This was no ordinary priest. Then Melchizedek lifted his hands and blessed Abram. "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth." Abram bowed his head. He knew, deep in his heart, that this blessing came straight from God. Without being asked, Abram gave Melchizedek a gift, a tenth of everything he had. Not because he had to, but because his heart was full. And just like that, Melchizedek was gone. No long goodbye, no explanation, no return later in the story. But the mystery did not end there. The secret that echoed through time. Many years passed. Kings rose and fell. Prophets spoke. Stories grew. And then, hundreds of years later, Melchizedek's name appeared again. King David wrote about him in a song to God. "You are a priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek." Forever? How could that be? Melchizedek lived long ago, didn't he? Then, even later, when Jesus came, people finally began to understand. Melchizedek was not forgotten. He was a picture, a signpost, a quiet promise. Just like Jesus, Melchizedek was both king and priest. He brought peace, not war. He offered bread. His story seemed to have no beginning and no end. Melchizedek reminded God's people that one day, a greater king of peace would come, not with armies, but with love. And so, children, when you read the Bible and find a story that feels mysterious, don't be afraid. Not every mystery is meant to confuse us. Some are meant to remind us that God's story is bigger than we can see. Just like Melchizedek, the king who came with bread, the priest who brought peace, the mystery that whispered, God has a beautiful plan. Thank you for joining us on this special adventure to meet Melchizedek, the King of Peace. Remember, sometimes God's stories are mysterious, but they are always full of love, hope, and lessons for us. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends so we can bring more Bible stories to life for children everywhere. See you next time on Rabbit's Foot Tales, where every story helps hearts grow closer to God.